some way that psychology may affect the outcomes of a cribbage game, where the words used or
Asking for a friendly cut.
you're looking for a friendly cut.
If somebody hesitates a long time before playing, I don't think they have a fair if they make two cards.
Exactly. That's a very common one. I do mention it in here. Especially you'll learn in your group that if you're playing in a club, that there are some people especially know that if you hesitate, I got 2 4s, but if I hesitate quite a while and study these cards and, oh, I don't know, I think I'll play this one. There's a chance it'll get paired. Improved chance it'll get paired. So that's a fairly common one.
Hazel does that.
What was that?
Hazel does that a lot.
Okay.
She hesitates on leading pairs.
Hazel, little short,
Wickstrom.
sweet,
Yeah.
barracuda.
Yeah, that's a pretty common trick. If I've got 2 cards alike, I want you to believe they're different. So the way to do that is to really study them, and it's a tough decision to make. Okay.
Another one that's a little bit, well, not too nice, but I teach quite a few people one-on-one how to play crib, and maybe they'll lead a 4. I'll put a 10 on the floor, and then they'll play an 8, and I'll say, oh, you don't have an ace, do you? And they go, no!
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. And there's a good chance they didn't because they skipped the 15, but it's, this,
You don't have
I admit I talk too much. I talk too much.
Guilty.
Okay. And after I've said it, sometimes I think, damn, that was dumb. So, yeah.
Some mistakes I see people make is the second card they play, they'll lay down an ace as soon as you play. No hesitation. Ace, before they really have a chance to analyze what you played. And in most cases, when they play that second card, which is an ace, real fast, they've got 3 aces left. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it's a little misleading that they play
I've
that
caught-
fast
and I've
if the
caught
cards
them.
are all alike.
They give away that all they got's aces left.
Yeah. So there's two ways you can actually mislead people, and people do both of these. One is to play very fast, and the other is, as you mentioned, to play very slow. And either one can be read either way. So in my view, psychology does not affect the outcome of too many cribbage games. It's fortunate that it doesn't. Now, the other thing that makes cribbage a little more complex than some of the other games, anybody here ever played Panguini? The Chinese game used to be played in the old card parlors that existed in the small towns of America. 17 decks of playing cards. Seemed like the deck was about this long. And you could either play the hand or pay to sit it out. And it was a great game because if you played a bad hand, even 50 years ago, you were going to lose $30 if you played a bad hand. So what you did, you paid the house $2 to sit out. Sit out. You might only play one hand in 4 or 5. And when you played one, it was a good one, and you raked the bucks in. And that's, you have an opportunity on a poker game generally to hold them or fold them, right?
Yeah.
Cribbage, you're stuck with what you got. No matter how bad they look, you're stuck with them. So we have to make the best decisions possible given the cards we're dealt. And sometimes, you know, we'll go several games where the cards are really weak. And it's important in that setting where you're losing, getting thumped on, looking at 0 or 2 or 4 maximum for 4 games in a row, and writing down 2 or 3 skunks in a row on your scorecard. It's important that you treat yourself gently, because you got to do that if you're going to be able to rebound when those cards improve. You can be so down in the dumps that you start throwing your cards, discard. I see people do it all the time, that their experience has been so bad, their cards have been so poor, that get rid of them. And then it's worse and worse and worse. And so it goes in the pegging game too. Generally when things are going bad, it's going bad in all parts. Nothing works. So treat yourself gentle. Take a break. Nothing wrong with taking a break. It can't be gone too long. You can walk out in the parking lot and kick the tires on your car. You just don't have time to change the tire. So kick it. Don't kick them with pointed shoes. You know, but you can kick them. Don Bacco, who used to play in this club, he had to let off steam quite frequently. And he'd go out in the parking lot sometimes and throw his jacket in the air. Tried to get it as high as he could. Sometimes he even forgot he was in the building and started throwing his jacket. He's the only person I ever know that threw his jacket down in that portion. He threw it and it hit that cover on the light, and it hit it hard enough that it knocked it up, and it fell down and hooked his jacket up in the light, and we had to get a stepladder to get his jacket out of the light. So I'm not suggesting you do that. But if your blood pressure is starting to boil, you know, maybe walk down the aisle, take a little extra break in the restroom, wash your hands, brush your teeth, comb your hair, whatever, then come back. Joe Wergen in his book says change something. Well, I don't happen to believe it, but that's what he says in his book. If things aren't going your way, change something. So some people I know bring an extra set of underwear. You slip in the bathroom and change. Some people I know, I was one of them, some years back at Hermiston, Oregon, I got skunked my first 2 games in the playoffs by a person that didn't have the foggiest notion what they were doing. And I said to Ken Capper, who was the tournament director, I said, can we go down in the basement and play our next game? He said, I don't care where you play it if your opponent's willing to go. So I said to my opponent, how about let's go on downstairs to play the next one? He said, all right. He goes down there and skunks me again. One time at Canada, a person told me, get a new deck of cards. That'll change things. I got skunked twice in the playoffs there. So I said to Jim Waldorf, the tournament director, I said, give me another deck of cards. I'm sick of getting my butt kicked with this one. Well, I almost got double skunked the next one. So that's the last 2 times I tried to change anything. It doesn't work for me.
People change their pegs all day. Play a different pair of pegs every game.
Oh, yeah. And how about these scorecards where they draw fences on their...
Yeah.
Some of them make woven wire fences. Some of them make picket fences. Some of them make rail fences. And some of them have 5 or 6 fences on the same card. And I don't see any correlation between the fences and the winds. But I may be missing something. So, anyway, let's take a break. Come back in 10 minutes. Thanks.